Hello! In this video, I am going to explain to you what's known in the world of statistics as the empirical rule. Let's say one day you decide to stand outside the door of your local gym, and before people came in to work out, you ask them how tall they were, and for some reason, they all tell you their real height, and you write it all down and keep an organized record of all the heights of all the gym members that came to work out that day. You would now have what's called a data set. A set of numbers that describe some phenomena. With this data set, you can now calculate the average height of gym members that worked out that day. This is known as the mean of the data set. Or you could identify the most common height of the people that you surveyed. That's the mode. These are examples of the many different descriptors of data sets that scientists and other researchers use to make sense of the data that they collect. Another descriptor is standard deviation. Standard deviation is a measurement of variability among values in a given dataset. Basically, it is a measure of how far away from the average values tend to be. This is an especially useful descriptor when the dataset makes up a normal distribution. A normal distribution, in statistics, is when the values in a dataset, in this example, the individual heights of gym members that worked out today, tend to be clustered around an average value, with no trend of bias above or below that average. This shows up on a graph as a symmetrical bell curve. It is important to understand the properties of this normal distribution and bell curve because it is very common and describes many different sets of data, from things in nature like birth weights and blood pressure, to other things like SAT scores and income distribution. One very important property of normal distributions is that it follows the empirical rule. The empirical rule says that one standard deviation away from the mean, above and below it, will encompass 68% of values in that dataset. And two standard deviations away, above and below, will encompass 95% of values in that dataset. And three standard deviations away, above and below, will encompass 99.7% of values in that dataset. But what does that mean? Let's go back to our example. Let's say the data set of heights of gym members that worked out that day was normally distributed, and the average height was 5 feet and 8 inches tall. And let's say the standard deviation was 2 inches. The empirical rule says that the range of values from one standard deviation above and below the average, in this case, the range of heights from 5'6" to 5'10", will encompass 68% of the values in the dataset. Or, more simply, 68% of the people you surveyed will have been between 5'6" and 5'10", and 95% of them will be between 5'4" and 6 feet tall, and 99.7% of them will be between 5'2" and 6'2". The empirical rule works the same for any set of data that follows a normal distribution. I hope this video was helpful and informative, and you have a better understanding of how statistics can be employed to better understand the world around you. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.